Ladies and gentlemen, coming back at you once again. It's episode 155 of the world's greatest podcast, which you all know, it's Keeping It Real. And ladies and gents, today, I'm not even going to lie to you, okay? Keeping It Real has been seen in many countries. I've had people from all over the world on the show, but my guest today he's bringing it to a completely new level like he does with everything he's doing. Ladies and gentlemen, coming from, I want to say Nashville, but that don't look like Nashville to me. I got Troy, the RoofMan Anderson in the house. Hey. Troy, tell me a little bit about this background. Where are you at? Is that like a video background? You're sitting in Nashville right now or what?
It's Madrid, Spain, downtown, right at the center, I think, is where I'm at. My room is like a block from, it takes me 4 minutes to walk right here. I could do a little turnaround.
Let's see what we got here, Troy. Come on. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are not in Nashville anymore. Look at this. That is Madrid. I have never been to Madrid, so now I feel as though I've been to Madrid. I've seen everything there is to see there now, and there you go.
Yeah, I did a run this morning. It was a 3-mile run with my Ray-Ban glasses on. It didn't last the whole run, but there's some pretty good sights in that run.
I guarantee.
And then yesterday, and then yesterday, last night, I did like a 2-hour video, just like walking around. There's a lot of stuff to see here, and the architecture is, beautiful out here.
You, my friend, are bringing it to the people. You're literally bringing us into Madrid, Spain. I've never been there, but now I feel like I have. So there you go. I'm gonna cross it off my. Jesus, Troy, you almost got hit by a bus.
Yeah, I'm 2 feet away from it.
All right. This is the cool thing about you, though. You're willing to put yourself at the, you're willing to risk it all for the content, for the entertainment of the people. If Troy gets hit by a bus today, I'm going to feel real bad. But he's putting himself out there. So
I hope I get 5 likes if I get hit by a bus.
Oh, dude, you're getting at least 5. I can promise you that. Okay. I'll get you 10 likes today, no doubt. So, Troy, let me ask you a question, my friend.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? Why are you in Spain? What's going on over there? You selling roofs over there? What's up?
Nah, me and my wife just wanted to get away. A little getaway. We like to travel probably 4 times a year around there, and the pick on this trip was Spain. We've never been here before, and so it's like let's go give it a try. I know more Spanish than I do any other second language. And and it's just a little bit, but that's why we came. Let's just get away and go somewhere outside of America, because usually we do a lot of trips in America, but we just wanted to go somewhere different and kind of romantic for Valentine's Day all at the same time.
I heard that, man. And dude, that's awesome. I'm super happy for you because I know how hard you work. I'm always getting on you about working too hard. So I'm thankful that you're out having fun. And it looks like you've really kind of started doing that a lot lately, just kind of traveling, getting away, keeping your head clear. So tell me a little bit about that. What was the thing that's freaking me out every time? What's the thing that led you to kind of step back just a little bit? Because I remember, a year ago or whatever, you were up on these steep ass roofs. You were doing repairs in the rain. And I kept saying, Troy, dude, you're too important for this now. You've got a successful company and you've got all that. And you need to kind of step back. So it looks like you've done that a little bit. Tell me a bit about that. How's that process been for you?
I've only done that because I'm needed more in the office. So I can't get away. I try to get away and work in the field because I enjoy that way more than in the office. I'm not an office person. Sorry about the sirens there, but
I love it.
I'm not an office person, so but I'm needed there right now. I just hired an office manager, so I'm hoping. It's my cousin, kind of like my brother. We grew up together, so he knows a good amount about the roofing industry. So, kind of training him, getting him to know all the systems and stuff like that, and hopefully, this is the test. Me being gone for 10 days and him holding the fort down and seeing how many phone calls I get of, hey, what do I do in this situation? So far I've only gotten like 2 calls, so that's not bad. I'm hoping it stays kind of like that, and he's able to, hold it down more with the staff. So that's really it. Just I'm needed more in the office, so I can't get away. I do get away sometimes, and I'm out there. Um, but I guess that's why I haven't posted a lot on in those environments, just because I should post some in the office, but I really don't. What am I going to post me typing? Or I thought about,
Hey,
hey, I
Troy,
go
you've
live with
posted
the.
videos of yourself running on a treadmill before. I would watch
I
a
have,
video
yeah.
of you typing too. That would be very entertaining, I think.
Yeah, I can surprisingly type okay without looking at the keyboard. I'm really surprised at myself that I could do that, but I can.
All right. So, how many words per minute can you type without looking at the keyboard? And if you do that, can we actually read and understand what they are?
I don't know how many words. I think now, last time I checked my words was years ago, and I mean, so I was like at 55, 50 to 55. So I mean, that's not like extra great. I think that's okay. I'm probably at 35 now, maybe,
Okay,
because
35.
I think, I mean, I think it's not like super good by any means, but it's okay for me. Like
Troy, it's
35 words a
absolutely
minute.
amazing, dude. Like, I know people
Yeah.
that can't type 5 words a minute. You're 35.
Oh,
You're 7 times
yeah.
better than most people already. You just feel like
Well,
it's not good because you're used to being like 50 times
yeah.
better than everybody. So,
And
you
50
know,
times shorter than everybody.
it happens.
Bum.
It happens sometimes. So, hey, let's talk a little bit about Top Down. You've got your company
Yeah.
over in Nashville. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
I see your sweatshirt. I have a couple questions about Top Down. Number one, I've watched your evolution over the years. You and I have been we've been able to hang out at events. I know Dale Childress Jr. had one over here. We hung out there. We had dinner in Fort Lauderdale when you came down to Lee Hate's event, and
Yep.
always enjoy being around you. And I've always seen, your energy and just your positivity. And as you've continued to grow with your business, I've seen that you've expanded and done other things. But let's talk about Top Down. So right now, how many people do you have working in your organization at Top Down Roofing?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 people in my office, not counting my wife and me. I have 2. These are all W-2 people. 7 people. Then I have a W-9 or W-2, whatever, one of those.
I hope it's
And then
W-2 for your own sake.
W-2. Yeah, W-2. And then 2 inspectors that I send out to go look at roofs, and then I sell it over the phone. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, because I only have, and then I have 2 salespeople. So what was that? 7, 8, 9, 11.
11 people, man. That's
Yeah, but the 2
legit.
salespeople are 1099. So my 2 sales guys are 1099. Everybody else is a W-2, and then I got like a couple people that are like on call. If my 2 inspectors are real busy, I got 2 people I can usually call, and they will. They're pretty good about, hey, they'll take care of a inspection or a repair that needs to be done or something like that.
I love it, man. You've got it all figured out. You got 11 people on your team now, which is crushing. You're putting roofs up all over Nashville and surrounding areas. I do need to ask about a specific employee of your company that I haven't seen in a while. And that, my friend, is Mr. Bones. What happened to Mr. Bones? Where is this guy? I sent him a safety jacket, and it's like the dude died.
He is. So my motorcycle is like outside my garage, like long ways, because I turned the 2 rooms to double garage. I turned on one side of the garage and turned it into 2 bedrooms. But my motorcycle's like on the outside, and he is in between the motorcycle and the garage. And his head is, I think, in my office somewhere.
Oh, he's been decapitated.
Yeah, well, I brought him to dinner one night, and my wife didn't think that was a cool idea. And, she threw him outside on the porch, and then that's when his head broke, and then the dog peed on him.
Oh, no. Oh.
So I tried putting his head together with like a piece, like a shower head elbow,
Just
crammed
nothing.
it down into it. Yeah, I just gotta
You
say one of my
compressed
guys
all of
is
his
good.
vertebrae. Now he's
I
walking
did.
around.
Yeah, you know,
Oh
I
man.
think he has a he doesn't. Your jacket that you gave is in my office with the soap. Still got that. It's sitting on my bookshelf. But
And for those that aren't aware of this situation, when Troy says, you know, your jacket and the soap, so nonchalantly Troy mentions this, but a couple years ago, I actually sent Troy an autograph bar of soap that came out of this thing that I bought at this surplus store down here. And
yeah.
Troy still has this autograph, and I think
have
it
it.
says Troy, best wishes, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's hanging up in this dude's office. So there you go.
Yeah,
Troy's the only guy. Okay, you're the only guy in the world that has an autograph bar of soap. So check this out. You see this shoe right here behind me by this TV screen?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is my one of a kind thing. This is an autographed football cleat from probably the most famous football player in the history of all time. And I'm going to give you a guess, Troy. Who do you think that autographed football or that autographed shoe is? World famous football player from back in the day. Okay. I'll give you one guess and then I'll tell you.
All right. I got it. Okay. So I'm not huge on football, but I know somebody back in the day was pretty famous. Joe Montana was really famous.
Joe Montana was famous. This dude's completely different level than Joe Montana. This, my friend, I don't know if you, Troy, you're probably not even old enough. You're a young man in this world. Back 42. In the early 2000s, Vince McMahon, you're 42?
Yeah.
Well, check you out, bro. You're looking pretty damn good for your age. I'm 45 and I look like freaking shit compared to you.
You look good, man. You hit the gym up every day. I'm kind of jelly, you know.
Well, you're in Spain, dude. I'll trade you. I'll go to Spain. You can come work out at Crunch Fitness. But this right here, back in the early 2000s, Vince McMahon, the guy that owns WWE, he started a football organization called the XFL. And I bet you probably had, no, you didn't have one in Nashville. There was a Memphis Maniacs team, but in Nashville, there was not a team, but they had these guys and it was really corny and kind of stupid, which is why it only lasted 1 year. But the most famous player in the history of the XFL is this guy named Rod Smart. And the reason he's famous is not because his name's Rod Smart, but it's because of his nickname. Back in the day, they could put nicknames on the back of their shirts instead of their real names. And this guy right here, this guy is named He Hate Me. So that is He Hate Me from the XFL, the most famous football player of all time. And I paid like $30 for that. I mean, maybe one day it'll be worth more. It might be worth like 32 or 33 by now. I feel like it was actually devalued because I think the shoe by itself is worth more without the autograph, but I got the autograph because it was just there and it's He Hate Me. So that's the deal. You got a Chuck Allen bar of soap. I got a He Hate Me shoe. Hopefully yours is worth more than mine. That's all I can say.
I like the soap. The soap probably smells better.
It does. I mean, yeah, this shoe was worn on the field. I promise the soap smells better. Yeah.
Soap smells way better. Yeah.
No doubt about that. So there you go. But we bring some unique things. You and I both are very unique. We do some interesting stuff. I'm very sorry to hear about Mr. Bones. And I would like to make a plea right now to the roofing industry and anybody that watches this. Should we set up a GoFundMe for this dude? I mean, I watched him give his life. Literally now I know he gave his life now for Top Down Roofing. I've seen this man thrown off of roofs before. He freaking lands in awkward positions. The roof dog pissed on him. I mean, my next question was what happened to the roof dog, but it sounds like the roof dog is doing his thing. He finally got rid of his hated rival, Mr. Bones, and now he is the full face as the mascot of Top Down, right?
Pretty much. He's doing okay. I will bring you know what I need for Mr. Bones? I need a reminder around like 10 o'clock Nashville time to fix him so I can have my office make a work order to fix Mr. Bones. And I get one of my guys to grab him, get him, you know, somebody, you know, if they can get paid to fix him, they will do that. One of my guys. I feel
like there's some insane content right there. That would separate Top Down Roofing from everybody else in your market. And you got a strong market. There's some pretty great people in Nashville, but if you put a work order in for surgery and then you maybe get like the roof doctor or someone like that to do a couple, you know, maybe reinstall his head live on camera so you can tell your homeowners, look, Mr. Bones trusted me with this very delicate job. Imagine how good Top Down Roofing would be for you on your home.
That's right, man.
Like, there you go, Troy. We got this all figured out. So
Man,
this
I'm
does bring me
reinstalled
to another.
crankings.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this brings me to another question. I do know that you saw this, but last week on Saturday, I had Marquise Mitchell, aka the Roof Don, on here.
Oh yeah,
And
I see that one.
we were talking a little bit about something that he had to offer, and you came up in the conversation because we were looking for a complete baller that has $1.5 million to be a sponsor of the Formula One race in Miami. And I threw your name out there. So I kind of wanted to just touch base with you on that, see what your thoughts were. I didn't really ask you before I did it, but it was like, to me, almost it seemed like a natural thing. Like, I just said Troy the Roofman Anderson would be the guy. 1.5 million. He's a baller.
Yeah,
He's in Spain. Formula One's very popular in Spain. So I'm like, hey, Troy's the guy. Maybe we get a car and we put a top-down roofing wrap on it, and I would voluntarily drive that car in the race if you would give me the honor,
I would. I may need a GoFundMe for that, and I'm down.
Right.
We can get that GoFundMe going for the 1.5. I got I know with my wife, she'll at least let me throw 50 on it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I got like $50, and if we can get you to 1.5, $50 at a time, it'll show how the industry comes together and helps the good people. So let's help Troy raise 1.5 million so he can sponsor Formula One, and then when we get a car, I will actually drive.
Chuck will drive it.
I will potentially win a race in Formula One because, Troy, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if you've heard of this simulator called iRacing, but it's kind of like iRoofing or anything like that. And it's a race car simulator. And I had this whole cockpit and steering wheel, and I had the pedals, and I used to drive NASCAR quite a bit. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but I have like about 43 top 10 finishes in my career. So I got 3 wins, bud. I won at Charlotte Motor Speedway one time in a 1979 Camaro. Shit. I can win Formula One. Formula One seems easy compared to driving a 1979 Camaro at Charlotte. So I think we're going to do it. So anyways, that's a little nonsense for the, man. It took me 10 years to get that level of top 10s. But really my thing is when I do that, I'm like that guy that just kind of stays in the back and I let all the other people wreck. And then I just drive around the wrecked cars. And that's how I get good stats. I don't really ever compete for anything, but my stats have me as I can drive in the NASCAR Cup Series. So,
shit,
take it what it's worth. If someone could give me a ride for the Daytona 500, I could probably run in the top 10. I'm just saying.
I can see my soap going up in value now.
Exactly. I mean, you're sponsoring that. Top Down Roofing becomes a worldwide phenomenon. I finally get to become a race car driver because after I win that race, I get offered to race all over the world. And then, I'm going to come to you then and say, Troy, we need to get another probably about 50 to 60 million so we can be competitive. And I'm giving you the first crack. So there you go.
I appreciate that. Nothing like a good wrap car. I just bought me a old Saturn. I
saw this. Okay. So let's talk about this because I saw that it's a 5-speed and that's what made me jealous. Like, I want to get an old school car like back from the 90s that has a 5-speed because nobody really knows how to drive them. You're 42 years old. You probably know how to drive a 5-speed, but
I can drive it.
Yeah, you give it to one of your kids and they're going to be like, what's this other brake on the left? And, it's a skill. I used to drive a truck that had an 18-speed in it, and it's the most fun thing in the world.
An 18-speed?
Yeah, it was an international. I used to do roof loads. I had a conveyor belt truck, and I would just back it up to the house, and we'd spin it around and put the conveyor belt, and then one dude would throw them on. The other dude would spread them out. But yeah, it was an international. It had an 18-speed. It was like the badass Caterpillar. It was like the I don't even remember what number it was, but it was like the biggest one that they made. So you could probably pull houses off the foundation with the truck I used to drive, and therefore I respect anybody that can drive something like that. So I'm not even a bit surprised that you're rolling around town in a badass yellow. It was yellow, like mustard yellow with some black on it. Kind of looks like a race car. Yeah, maybe we put that in the Formula One race. I could probably win in a 5-speed. I bet I could. So there you go. We don't even need 50 million anymore. We throw the Saturn in there. I got this. I'll be very safe. I won't wreck. I promise. Saturns are super safe. Our money won't be wasted on body work because they're made out of plastic, right?
It's light. It's a pretty light car. So
Here we go,
it
Troy.
is light. There's no there's no like bash marks on it. So, but it's
Not yet.
rusted. You know, not yet. Yeah, not yet. We'll get in the race or two and find out.
Yeah, the Daytona 500's on Sunday. Maybe we put it in that as just a tester. I'll leave right now. I'll drive to Nashville. I'll get the yellow submarine. I'll drive down to the Daytona 500. I'll get it labeled with top-down roofing. I'll probably put a small Rio Blanco sticker on it too, just so I can say, hey, I was there. Rio Blanco sponsored a race car in North Carolina for a few years, so I'm not opposed to that. And then I will go win the Daytona 500 when you get back. Next to that sign bar of soap, you're going to have a giant trophy that says Daytona 500 winner. So
that's pretty badass.
Now you're probably thinking, man, I need to get home from my vacation because I got all this going on. But just stay over there, Troy. I got this, dude. You don't even have to worry about me. I'm like your brother-in-law, your cousin. You don't have to mess with me. I got you.
Hey, my office has the key to the Saturn. Just go get that Saturn.
Yep. I need them to have the doors welded shut by the time I get there so I can climb the windows, and then I think we're good. I don't even need to really focus on safety. I plan on being so. Troy. Oh no, Troy the roof man has left the building, folks. He'll be back. I'm pretty confident. Let's see. Well, in the meantime, let me change this so it looks a little more cool. And ladies and gentlemen, while I'm waiting for Troy the roof man to reappear, I am going to play this ad by my sponsor, roofer.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I love Roofer. I was going to ask Troy about his thoughts on Roofer. Oh, check this out.
Hey, I'm back. I don't know what happened.
Me neither, but it's cool. So I was getting ready to play a commercial right when that happened. I was going to save the day and just kind of roll into it, but now I've got you back. So Troy, let me ask you a question real quick, my friend.
Yes, sir. What
do you use for your measurements for your roofing company? What software package do you like?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So that's a good question. We have a guy in China that we actually use to do that, and it's like $6 a roof I pay.
Okay, well, Troy has completely just destroyed what I'm about to do here, ladies and gentlemen. But real quick, Troy, I want to tell you something about my sponsor, roofer.com.
I would totally use Roofer.
So here's what's up. Roofer is based here in China. I'm sorry. They're based in Canada and they're based in the United States, and they are actual roofers. And the thing I love about Roofer is about 5 years ago, I met them and it started off as just a measuring tool. But now, Troy, do you know what Roofer has?
A CRM.
A CRM. And let me show you something really quick. Ladies and gentlemen, the next 30 seconds are going to be absolutely magical. After this ad is played, Chuck and the Roof Man are going to come back and we're going to continue our shenanigans. But let me take 30 seconds for this word from my sponsor. You ready, Troy?
I'm ready.
We're Roofer. We know that managing a roofing business can be chaotic. So we created a single platform with all the tools you need to easily run your roofing business. With Roofer, you can stop switching between multiple different softwares and experience streamlined operations from lead to payment in hours instead of days. That way, you get more time back in your day for the things that matter most. Grow your business faster with Roofer. Visit roofr.com to get started for free today.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all you have to do. You have to visit Roof-R, which everybody calls it Roof-R, but it's called Roofer. And then at the end, that guy confuses me by calling it Roof-R. So I don't know.
I always thought it was Roofer too.
It is. Trust me. I know for a fact it is. I speak to the guy who created it, and it's definitely called Roofer, but the CRM is pretty amazing. What are you using for your CRM with top-down roofing?
So we use Job Nimbus at the moment.
Okay.
We're not like really upset with that. It's pretty good. I do want to go to something different eventually. I've been thinking about AccuLinks a lot, but I don't think I'm there yet. So we're just gonna, keep rocking. Job Nimbus has done pretty good. It got us to, just a little over 3
nice
so far. So not too terrible, but maybe I'll need something different once we get to 5. I don't
when
know.
you get to 5, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I use Roofer CRM for Rio Blanco, and I absolutely love it because it literally takes you from the very intake of the customer all the way to the final payment. And you can collect payments directly from the CRM. You can send links for financing. My proposals, I believe, are the best in the industry right now. and I've been getting jobs left and right just because other people are leaving like one line proposals, you know, roof replacement, and mine's showing like the whole deal. I've got video links. I've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So shout out to Roofer, and we love them, and Troy loves them too. And
I do.
We don't know about this other company that he's using, but I think $6 is,
I mean,
yeah.
$6
So
is pretty damn good though.
what are you going to do? I pay 10 for the roofers because I have the elite membership.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all. And it comes back in a couple hours.
Good.
So I respect it 100%.
You know, I have thought about, I haven't really looked at their CRM deal to see how I can manage that, you know, in compared to Job Nimbus. But that may be something I might need to do down the road. Maybe get with you and kind of do a test trial, or, you know, get with Matt, or, you know, see what he can do to help me with that.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, really good, Troy, and it's getting better. They're adding things like every single week, it seems like. Last week was the payments. It's got we're getting ready to have material orders I can now do as well. I can order all my stuff directly from the measurement reports from any supplier that I like. And dude, I have no complaints with Roofer. They are absolutely amazing. So shout out to them, and let's continue on with our conversation. So you are a world traveler. You're Troy the RoofMan. You make videos of yourself running on treadmills, and I want to ask a little bit about that.
Yeah,
what was the inspiration? Because I won't lie to you, Troy. I have literally watched you run on the treadmill for probably, out of my lifetime, I'd say I've probably dedicated like 3 hours total over the course of time. Like I'll watch for like 10 or 15 minutes at a pop and just seeing how things are going. So let me ask you, you know, you're at the gym one day. It's like, I'm just going to record myself running. Like, what was the thought process? Is that something you're doing for yourself or to entertain the masses?
I think it was a mixture of, if someone's bored, hey, I'm here. And also, I knew if I did that, I wouldn't stop until I hit my mark. Like, you know, you got it's a little bit of pressure, even though you got like 1 or 2 people, that's it. They're on and off. It's a little bit of like, well, I started this now, and I don't want to, you know, not accomplish that. So it's like once you turn the video camera on, there's a little bit of pressure, and pressure's good. It builds great things. So that's kind of really why. I know when I put the camera on, like I kind of have no choice. I don't want to fail in front of one person.
Exactly, because you know that one person will be me, and I'll be like, look at Troy. He only ran like 2.75 miles, that liar. And, you know, drama in our industry, that's all it takes sometimes. Troy doesn't keep his word. He only ran 2.8 miles. Like,
right.
Next thing you know, you're fighting on pay-per-view in front of the industry. And, you know, I don't need that. So let's talk a little bit about that. Speaking of the devil, so you do jujitsu. And you were down here, or down in Florida, when we did the Blue Collar American Dream Conference back in September. Did you participate in that jiu-jitsu night?
Hell yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I learned a couple new moves, and I came back and I watched the show, and that was one of the best shows I've, you know, that event that Lee did was really good. I you know, enjoyed it. I think it's awesome to have the jiu-jitsu thing in there. You know, there's a lot of people in the roofing industry who are getting involved in that. I've noticed, and maybe they've already been involved and I'm coming in late. I don't know, but it was really good. I enjoyed that. You get a little steam off. You know, jiu-jitsu definitely brings you closer to people. You know, you got contact, and you know how much, you know that, you know, what you can do with just a millimeter of air. You know that's enough to live off of if you're just calm.
Yep, you know, you just need to stay calm and don't get overexcited, and, you know, survival at its finest. Teaches you a lot about yourself, right?
It really does. You come out of that, like, even if you lose, you know, and you get tapped out, you still come out like, I did that. You know, I went a couple rounds, and, you know, most people probably don't, you know, have that kind of interaction with people, you know, in their, maybe once in their life, 2, you know, but so when you do it 2 to 3 times a week,
it changes who you are. And I will say this, I've only had one jiu-jitsu session. I don't want to call it a match or a fight, but on July 4th last year, I had a jiu-jitsu match with Lee Haight himself in his front
shit.
yard in Florida. And I'm not gonna lie, Lee beat my ass. Like I got choked out. I felt like I had like good position for a second because he was kind of showing me what to do. But yeah, I got thrown around a little bit and I kind of enjoyed that though. It was fun. Like you said, I got a little bit different type of exercise and I like it.
Yeah.
And I remember from a couple years ago when you were on Keepin at Rio that you were going to fight one of my former co-hosts, Eric, at the Blue Collar American Dream Conference. And I'm sorry that didn't happen. You were ready. You were there. You were ready to rock. And I feel like I let that down. And I'm sorry, crowd, because Troy was going to fight Eric Schugel for many years.
Where's he at?
Eric now is still doing roofing over in East Texas. We shut down the Rio Blanco office, so he's working with another guy over there. Shout out to Eric, you know. He's a good guy. He was, but you know, the truth is he was afraid to show up at the Blue Collar American Dream Conference, and therefore I'm actually going to declare. There goes Troy again, man. The internet in Spain is a little bit sketchy, folks. And that reminds me anyway, I had my little background all messed up when I brought the RoofMan back. So let's see what happens here. Let's count down to how many seconds until Troy returns to the stage. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, first I'm going to fix this. Oops. I'm going to go like this. And then I'm going to go like this. And see, this is the joy of doing a podcast live from Spain. And I'm seeing all these people walking behind you. This is probably the coolest one of all time because you got Times Square beat here, buddy. Like you're actually like right at like a cafe in the middle. There's people walking around. These people don't even know they're on Keepin at Rio. If they knew, they'd be like, oh my God, that's like the 4th most popular show in Spain, Keepin at Rio.
They would stop and say hi if they knew. But,
of course they would. But right now, I think the majority of the people are probably looking and they're like, it's Troy. It's the RoofMan. And they're all like, dude, we can't even look at this guy. He's the biggest star we've seen in years. So I respect it.
I was this close to getting on a roof today. I was, here, but the damn elevator wouldn't work.
Wouldn't let you get straight to the top.
Yeah, I found a construction guy and he was on the roof and the guy who was working at the hotel was like, are you here to do work? I'm like, roof, and
top down roofing. They know worldwide. They're like, it's the RoofMan. He's here to do his thing.
I showed him a picture of me on the roof. It's like, I need to get up there and get one picture. And he was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. Well, he didn't say it like that, but he took me back, but damn elevator didn't work. So I was like, well, I'm going to try again tomorrow. I tried to go on my hotel, but it looked like when I climbed the fire escape ladder and I opened the door, there was an alarm on the actual door. Once you get up there, I was like, yeah, probably not a good idea the Airbnb. I'd probably get a bad review,
Well, if you do decide to go that route just to get on a roof, always make sure you've got your camera with you. Because again, Troy Anderson getting arrested or whatever, that could go viral pretty quick. And you could pay your bail money. And probably if you got arrested in Spain and put it on YouTube, you could probably afford the $40 million F1 just based off of that. So
that's not a bad idea.
Food for thought, Troy. If you're there and you're bored, I know that the roof wife is not going to enjoy that advice at all. And little Troy probably wants to see his dad again. So don't do that. But
I don't know how the Spain jails are here,
I read about Mexican jail and I'm like, dude, I don't think I want to go to jail in Mexico. Spain, I don't know.
Hey, the people are nice here. I tell you, I know that much. People are super nice. They stay out to like damn near 2 or 3 in the morning, and it doesn't even get daylight here to like 8 or 9. 8:30 is when you see this when it's daytime. Not the sun.
What time is it there right now as we speak? It's 10 a.m. here in San Antonio.
10, so 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay, so you're right here in rush hour in downtown Madrid. We're going to see the rush hour traffic. This is going to be really fun. So I did just mention a guy that I wanted to ask you about as well, and that, of course, is little Troy. We've seen little Troy growing up. I saw a picture the other day where you were hiking with him, and I was like, dude, little Troy's got it going on, man. He looks like he's going to be a huge success in this world. So tell me a little bit about little Troy. How's he doing?
He's doing great. He's obviously he's crawling a lot, and he's picking himself up while we're gone since I think, we've been here like 3 or 4 days. He has this like little push car that he can walk behind. So he's
Nice.
using that like a lot. My wife's dad and mom are here, from China, helping with him, and they're taking him down. So he's walking all over the place with this push car. So I think he'll be walking pretty soon. He tries to talk a lot, so I think he's gonna be really friendly. And I'm concerned, like I don't know what language he's gonna speak first, because I told my wife just speak Chinese to him. Obviously my grandparents are only speaking Chinese. They don't speak any other language. I'm the only one who's speaking English, so not
It's
quite
up
sure
to
what
you to teach little Troy our English language.
Yeah, it
You don't
really
want little
is.
Troy walking around Nashville speaking Chinese, man. That
Not all
could
the
be
time.
something, but like,
Yeah, he'll probably be he'll definitely be bilingual for sure. We're gonna let him go to China for about a year or two when he
ooh,
gets like
nice.
3 or 4 to 5, because he has to learn, that part of who he is. And then obviously he'll live in America, but we need him to know how to read and write, read and speak and write in Chinese very good. Or yeah, he has to know how to do that. So,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
he's doing good. He's going downstairs, like he just like puts his stomach on the stairs and slides down the stairs on his stomach.
I do
And he
that.
likes,
I respect
yeah,
it.
I was doing that, and he's a super happy kid. Like super happy, doesn't really cry much at all. So he's a very loved, lucky kid, and I'm very lucky to have him. That's he's definitely a big blessing for me.
Absolutely. And little Troy, shout out to you, buddy. You're gonna watch this one day, and a little teardrop's gonna come down when you see that you're loved by the entire world. The roofing industry has already adopted little Troy as ours, so like
Hell yeah,
you're stuck with this little Troy. Sorry, buddy.
yeah. I told my wife, I want him to know about roofs, but my wife is like, nah, I don't want. He needs to be a lawyer, be a doctor, just the whole Chinese thing. Like he has to be very, very educated, go to college, but I said, what about real estate? You could do real estate. You could do really well in that.
Little
So
Troy could be a baller. He could be the next
well,
Trump, dude. I mean,
hey, he can be whatever he wants to be. He can't be a drummer because
or
drums
a
are the
roofer.
devil. Yeah, or a roofer. God forbid he becomes a roofer drummer.
Boy, oh boy. I know a couple of drummers that are also roofers, and I can tell you that's a combination right there. So good
Yeah,
plans for little Troy. And I know that little Troy's going to have a very diverse background and upbringing because you've got a diverse family. And I think that's
yeah.
the coolest thing. We got to hang out with you and Melanie, your wife, down there in Florida. And I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed talking with her because I had never met her before, except for very briefly at RoofCon like a couple years ago. And it was very enjoyable. And I wanted to ask you, what role does your wife play in your business? Because you've also got, you still do the lawn care stuff, or did you kind of put that on the shelf?
Nah, that's kind of on the shelf right now. We're basically focused on rentals, Airbnb, roofing company. That's kind of like the only things we hit hard. Um, yeah, so really not lawn care is just lawn
It
care
was
will be
just a
for
fun
the
thing. You
rentals.
like mowing yards and you went out there and you did it, but now
Well,
you're too busy.
yeah, I like doing it. So I realized, man, I can't make any money doing it. Like you got
Yeah.
1 yard here, and then your next yard's like an hour away, and it's like not work.
You're just, yeah,
You
you're
have to,
paying your gas
yeah,
bill at that point, and that's pretty much it. So good
yeah.
move on that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the rentals and the Airbnbs. I know that you've been very active in that. So
Well,
what
hit
led
that
you
one.
into it?
Well, let me hit the one question you said about what my wife does in the business.
I got you.
She is the accountant, so she has a master's degree in accounting, and so she does the accounting. She looks over all the paperwork, makes sure anything that has to do with numbers. That's what she's doing, and then she does a little bit of sales and pushes the roofs to go into production. She'll see the numbers are looking good, and then she's like, "Hey, this is ready to go." And then I'll look at the pictures, make sure there's no like surprises on the roof, and then in for production. So that's kind of like her role. And as far as the Airbnbs and the rentals go, those are going pretty good. We are closing on our 7th property next month, I think.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a very wild ride. Yeah, wild ride. Yeah, I definitely could not see this. Like 8 years ago, I would have been just happy with one. And I'm happy with what I got. I mean, I'm pretty good where I'm at. But yeah, it's going pretty good. It's a little rough sometimes with the Airbnbs because you got to be Johnny on the spot. When you get a notification, you have to drop what you're doing and attend to that. Your what the hell am I with? Not your client, but our guest. So
Yeah, it's your responsibility is to make sure that their trip is satisfactory.
Yeah, or better.
Yep.
It has to be as great as it can be. Whatever they need, you got to have it ready. Make sure they know how to get there. They know where the key is. The check-in is flawless. The checkout is flawless. Very clean. My grandparents are a big help because they help to clean all the apartments. We give them something to do.
Nice.
They want to do that. So they're so involved in helping out, which is great. And then I have a couple friends that help out too if they're busy, or if like 2 or 3 of them need to be cleaned. Then sometimes I can get a friend to go do one. I pay him to do it or her to do it. And the rental's going pretty good as well. We got one in East Nashville right now. We're trying to get rented out. It's a little bit harder because there's a railroad track. I didn't realize this when I bought the house. But right behind the damn house is the damn train track. And so we're buying like a soundproof windows for the back.
Nice.
I don't even know how much that is, but I'm hoping it's not too much. But hopefully that will help to get it rented out a little faster.
No doubt. Hey, I used to have an apartment right next to train tracks, and after like 6 months, you don't even notice it anymore. So
yeah, I grew up right behind the train tracks in East Nashville. That's kind of like where I was raised at, and yeah, I got used to it. You just like eventually you phase it out.
Yep. I mean, I'm partially deaf and I can't hear that well because of the freaking horns all the time, but I became kind of immune to it just like that. So rent this house from the RoofMan. I mean, he's got a rental over there. It's high quality in Nashville. If you're in Nashville area, you need to talk to this guy because there's no better landlord than Troy. I can promise you. Like, I can just guarantee Troy's a fun and good landlord. As long as you don't do something stupid, which that's my question for you when it comes to the rentals and the Airbnbs. Tell me about the worst experience that you've had so far with a client. Have you had a bad one?
Yeah. So we had, at one of them, we had like very traditional teacups, like English teacups. And the lady was just pissed because we didn't have a big teacup, like.
Ooh. Oh, Troy, you're on mute, buddy.
Here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
you're good. You're good. I got you now.
All right. So she got mad because we didn't have big teacups. She's like, I don't want grandma's teacups. I want big teacups. So I had to go back to Walmart and I just bought like 5 to 10, just the biggest freaking cups I could find to make sure, like, okay, you want big cups? I'm gonna come with some big ass cups. That one, and then there was one lady that she tried to say we left it a mess. Like she tried to say like there was hair like all in the house and food on the floor and all this like to get a. It's amazing. Like sometimes some people they try to get a free stay. And
people lie like that.
Yeah, and and I'm like, well, shout out to Company Cam. I use Company Cam for all of my Airbnb and rentals too. So every time we clean it, we document. Just like I'm documenting for the insurance, I'm documenting everything on Company Cam, showing clean, bed sheets are clean, floors are clean, under the floor, bathtub, sink, like in the dishwasher, everything. So it's like, we had to send all the pictures to Airbnb, and they're like, "Oh, we can clearly see it. It's clean." And she wrote like a book of shit that was bad against us. But we got that whole thing, like, it didn't post on my deal because, you know, she found out it was a lie. So she's probably really mad. But that was a very stressful moment because, you know, she was going to give us a bad review, you know, and it's hard to get a 5-star. Like, if you don't have 4 stars or more, it's really difficult for them to want to use you.
Yeah, you start getting the bad people wanting to come in because they think, well, shoot, man, we could do whatever we want. This is like a Motel 6, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, we don't really let anyone in unless they're a certain star or higher because we don't want to chance. It's our house, you know. We don't want to take that chance. And then if they have no reviews, we just roll the dice on some because everybody needs a chance, you know. Everybody starts fresh, so I understand you. Not everybody's going to have them, so we don't accept everybody with no reviews, but, you know, we get a couple a month, and we're like, yeah, you know, let's just give them a chance, and it's turned out okay. So everything's been pretty good with it. Of course, there's a little bit of stress with everything just because you always got to be on call, and sometimes you get a message at 12 o'clock, where's the hairdryer? And you got a message back, it's under the sink. I don't see it. Can you look to the oh, there it is. Cool. You know, I'll come there if you need me to. You got to say it. And, you know, so, but that's just part of it until our goal is to get 10 rentals. And then if those 10 rentals, I think I could almost retire then because 10 rentals should bring enough money. I could retire off that. And then I can just, like with roofing, I can just really do what I want to do. I don't have, like, I kind of do that. I mean, I take on a lot of jobs that are stressful still, but the goal is obviously to try to retire and just do the roofs that I want to do and not have as much stress because, you know, all the stress is in roofing, really. That's,
yep,
you know that. Well, yeah.
No doubt about that. And when I did this deal with Rio Blanco, myself and my buddy bought the company from my old partners. It had been shut down because of stress and all kinds of things in life. That was my goal this time, Troy. I was like, dude, I want the roofing company to be successful, but I have a different definition of success than I had 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was trying to build a $25 to $50 million company. I was trying to have locations all over the place. I got to 3 and I realized that's not what I want. That's not my dream because all I was doing was just traveling and working. But if you drive to San Antonio from College Station one time, you see all the scenes. Then the next 500 times you do it, it sucks. It's just you're just in the car. So stress was my thing. I wanted to have lower stress. I want to learn how to play golf. I want to do more podcasts like I'm doing right now with you at 10:15 in the morning on a Thursday. I can do it. I've got some appointments this afternoon, but my whole thing is I'm 45. I don't want to do this forever. I'm thinking of an exit strategy. And I was talking to a guy yesterday and it was like, you know what? I'm going to build a super team. I'm going to have the absolute best roofing company in the state of Texas. I'm going to have a crew that's going to be trained. They're going to be the absolute greatest thing. And then 5 years from now, 7 years from now, whatever it is, I'm going to step back and I'm going to let the team run the show. And I'll just be a face of the company or a silent person in the background and just let it kind of go. But I respect that. So with you, you've already thought about this and you want to continue doing roofs, but you only want to do the ones that you want. So do you see at some point scaling your company down to where you're just like, hey, it's just me and a couple people? You're going to continue to grow top-down roofing like you've been doing, get it to a super high level, and then just kind of walk away or sell it? What's the plan?
I mean, I think if I can get to 5, I think I'd be happy. But I don't know. You know, I'm not at 5, so I don't know how much. I mean, obviously, it's probably more. Well, I feel like it's more stress, but if I can get all the systems in place, I mean, I got enough people. I should be more than 3. With 9 damn people, I should probably be at 5 now. But, you know, I'm still kind of learning how. I'm not a great manager. I know how to do a lot of things, but I'm not great at helping people to learn how to do that. I can just do it. So that's why I got my cousin to help me out with managing. So I feel like in my head, like, you know, 5 is a good mark. If I can get to 5 and just stick with that, that's a good number for me. That's enough to where hopefully, you know, I'm able to pay all my people, you know, more than a living wage. You know, like I do like healthcare right now and and a 401 and time PTO, some of those things. But you know, I have a goal that I want my employees to make, and then I'm hoping at 5 I can get all that together and kind of step back, and that's it. I don't know if I want to go any further than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live from Madrid, Spain. And every once in a while, you get a little hiccup when you're live from Madrid. I feel like Troy will be back here any second. Let's see. There he is.
Am I back?
Sort of. I hear you, but you're still frozen on the screen. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you Troy would be back in a second. We're doing this from across the world, yo. Like this is some of the things that happen sometimes when you're a worldwide phenomenon like Rio Blanco and Keeping It Rio. I'm gonna change my podcast so it looks cool. And let's see if Troy comes back here. We're gonna wind this down. We're at the 51-minute mark right now, and we are going to wind it down here shortly. While I'm waiting for Troy, let me tell you guys a really disgusting story that happened to me the other day. I won't tell you that. I'll tell you that story. I'll tell you the story now. I got Troy here. Troy, I was just getting ready to tell a horrible story about what happened to me the other morning. Because I kind of just keep rolling this over, you know, when the internet stops, I gotta keep things moving. So let me tell you what happened to me 2 days ago. Worst thing ever, man. I get up every morning and I go to the gym at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever. I'm an early riser. I go to bed early. I get up early. I found that between like 5 and 8 a.m. is when I get most of my stuff done. So 2 days ago, I woke up at 3:30 and I have a mission, and it was to do my laundry. Now, I live in an apartment complex here in San Antonio. I had a house in College Station when I had an office there, but I just have an apartment here. I don't have a washer and dryer, so I have to go to a laundromat, right? I go to this laundromat over here. It's in San Antonio on Thousand Oaks, and it's real nice. It's clean. I go early in the morning because I don't like to be around people, especially at a laundromat. Like that's, I don't know, like just my thing. So I'm at the laundromat. I'm doing my thing. I pull up, Troy, and I recognize that the lady that works there is not there. I see evidence of things like people are literally stealing from behind the counter because they know that there's nobody there, right? I'm not a thief. I didn't have any detergent. So I got in my car and I drove down the street to a CVS that was open, bought my laundry detergent and came back. But as I'm walking through here, I start seeing some things and I'm like, there's a mop bucket with water, but there's nobody mopping. There's a broom over here with a bunch of debris, but the lady's not here. She straight up just said, I'm out. I'm not going to be here. And Troy, let me tell you what happened, dude. This is disgusting. It's the most disgusting thing you'll hear today, but I wasn't paying attention and I walk around the corner at the laundromat and guess what I stepped in?
She was going poopies.
It was human defecation on the floor. I stepped in a pile of human shit. And
it's the worst.
It's the worst thing. I've never had that happen before that I can recall. I've stepped in dog crap, and I've actually had a situation where I slipped in dog crap and I fell and got it all over me a couple times. But this was way worse. So I was like disgusted. I was getting sick, like vomiting. Like if that lady had been there, I don't know. But I literally went and I wrote a 1-star review for the laundromat. And I said, the lady is not here. She's supposed to be. People are stealing all the merchandise, which was true. People are going behind the counter and stealing everything. And I said, I literally stepped in a pile of human crap. So the only way you can make you can't make that any worse. You can only go up from there. And about an hour later, I had a really great conversation. And then, my day turned. But there you go. My buddy Marquise was feeling kind of bad the other day. He called me up and I told him that story and he instantly felt better. So if you're having a bad day and you're watching this, at least you didn't step in human shit in a coin-operated laundromat in San Antonio, Texas at 3:30 in the morning like I did. So there you go.
3:30, yeah, that's not where I want to be at on 3:30 in the morning. Sure.
No, and they wonder why, I have a little bit of a strange attitude about stuff. But I go there because I don't want to be around other people, and someone just couldn't wait. There's a bathroom 10 feet away, but, couldn't wait, I guess. So there you have it. Anyways,
At least-
Troy, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark on our podcast, and I like to keep them at an hour. I can't thank you enough for doing this. This is the first time ever from Spain. I've done a podcast from England before. I've done
nice.
one from the island of Vanuatu in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but never Spain.
Oh, wow.
So today, you, my friend, have set a trend like you always do, and not just in the industry, but in life. So before we end our podcast, I want to ask Troy the Roofman. I know everybody in roofing already knows you and you're friends with everybody. You're one of the guys that's just super infectious with your personality and you're just a likable guy. If there's anybody that's watching this that doesn't know you or wants to continue to follow your plight and see videos of a guy running on a treadmill or maybe, performing surgery at some point on Mr. Bones and getting him back into action, what's the best way for people to follow Troy the Roofman Anderson on whatever platforms you prefer to be followed on?
I would just say Facebook because I have a hard time right now doing all the other ones. Just Troy Anderson on Facebook. If you just type in the Roofman on Google, I'll be the first one to pop up, and you can hit that, and that will eventually filter down to my Facebook. I'm pretty sure it would.
It definitely will. So let me ask you this: you're the first one that pops up under the Roofman, but is there someone else that pops up? Is there like another the Roofman somewhere in the world that's fronting?
Well, there's one on YouTube that he doesn't even fucking do roofs. He has one thing he was playing a guitar singing. I messaged him trying to see if I could buy his thing or whatever just so I can have that YouTube, but he does. I don't even think he uses it anymore. So, and I don't think there's any other The Roofman. So I didn't see any. I just know it's the first thing that pops up, and it's actually that, and then like maybe my company. It's everything that has to do with my company that pops up on Google first, I believe. Because I posted so many times that hashtag, I guess finally it lands up.
It just knows you're just the Roofman. It's like I tell my customers, when I get to a house, I'm going to go up on your roof. I'm like, Google Chuck Allen roofing. And when I come down, we'll talk. I know what's about to show up. So being able to brand yourself like that is a tremendous deal. And you, my friend, are one of my favorite people in this industry. Thank you so much, Troy, for taking the time from Spain, dude. This guy's in rush hour in downtown Spain. He's almost been hit by a bus. His internet's gone out a couple times. He's been frozen for the last 10 minutes on here. But this has been an awesome conversation. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that watches. I appreciate the sponsor, roofer.com. We discussed that. And that's pretty much it. Troy, you have anything that you would like to end this episode 155 of Keeping It Real? I'll give you the floor. You can give a quote that's wise, or you can give advice, or just say something funny. What you got?
I want to say thank you, Chuck. I think you're one of the most genuine people I know. I enjoy your show, and that's it. I'd like to end it with just a big thanks to you and what you do, and how you try to add to the community. And you're very positive all the time. I've not seen you ever in a bad mood or negative. I may have seen some posts where you weren't feeling as good, but you still were trying to keep it positive. So I look up to you literally and figuratively. So I'd like to end it with just a big thanks for you, man, and what you do.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I do keep all my drama off of social media for the most part, but I'm not always in a good mood. I can assure you of that. I'm pissed off more often than not, but the Chuck Allen persona is always happy and always sunshiny, just like Troy the Roofman. So thank you, my friend. Everybody that's watching this, thank you guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Tell everybody about this episode so Troy and I can get rich. I tell people, it's going to get 1 million views. We'll probably both long be gone by the time it gets there, and someone else will, wonder about how they got paid for this stuff. But I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the fun, and I love every episode that we've done. So ladies and gents, until next time, this has been episode 155 of Keeping It Real, all the way from Spain. So until next week, you know what I always like to say, keep on keeping it real.